Okay, welcome to the test. My name is Nick Simpson. I'll be your examiner today. Can you tell me where you're from, please?
I'm from Daegu, Korea.
Thank you. And what
and I'm living in Ulsan.
Okay, thank you. And what shall I call you?
You can call me Jason.
Great, thanks. Okay, so in this first part, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about your work or studies. Are you a student or do you work?
I'm a worker. I'm working at Ulsan Grand Park as a supervisor of landscape architect, and I'm as a student also. I studied the license of tree doctor. I'm studying now.
What is your place of work like?
My place?
What is your place of work like? What's it like?
I'm working at a very big park, and we have million trees and shrubs and green fields. So I have to decide whole plan of the management and maintaining green area, especially rose garden and park golf courses.
What do you like about your job?
Actually, I don't like my job. I just want to make some money. But I studied landscape architect in university as a major part, and this is the only work I can do my best. So that's why.
Is there anything you don't like about your job?
No, not much. But working at a big company is always always have some trouble, like a co-worker relationship and citizens claim and some kind of accidents. It's hard, but work is good. Yeah,
let's talk about free time. Do you have a lot of free time?
I think normal. After 6 p.m. I'm free, and weekend days I'm free. And my company is very obey of labor law.
Do you spend your free time outside?
Yeah, sometimes hike or visit my music studio. I play a guitar, not not good, but I join a band as a guitar player. Yeah, I spend much time for practicing guitar, and I searching internet, which guitar do I have to buy next time, like that. And I'm very interested about gear stuff, so like amplification or speakers like that. So searching time is biggest part of my free time.
Is there a free time activity you would like to try in the future?
I want to travel more than this. As you know, COVID-19 situation is very hard to take a plane to abroad. So I want to actually I love to travel around the world. So I want to do trip but more than this time. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you a topic. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to make some notes. Okay. here's your topic. I would like you to describe a special event or festival that you liked.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay, so remember you have between 1 and 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time's up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay, I love travel abroad, and I traveled 30 countries last 25 years. My first travel place was Western Europe, and sometimes I traveled in southern Eastern Asia countries, and there's some impressive countries like Ireland and Spain. Those countries were, biggest impression to me. And year of 2018, I traveled to Myanmar because I have some kind of, big interest about Myanmar country, because they are very, very sorry. Anyway, this March and April, I got some news from television or newspapers like that, internet. They struggle with army government dictator. So normal Korean people don't know about Myanmar, but I visited there and I met Myanmar people, and I stayed there 2 weeks more. So I love that country. And
Thank you. Do you prefer traveling alone or with other people?
Just me and one more. I love, two people traveling.
Great.
Alone is alone.
Mm. So we've been talking about a special event or festival that you liked, and I'd like to discuss one or two more general questions related to this. Why do you think celebrations are important in society?
Celebration. Celebration is celebration. I'm sorry, I cannot understand exactly what you.
Okay. Why do you think celebrations are important in societies in different countries? Why are they important?
Because we are living with other people, so the relationship is, needs something special events. So and it makes people happy and keep remember. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think celebrations, I don't know, let's say birthday or Christmas, something like that, do you think they're different generations, old people and young people, do you think that they experience celebrations differently?
Yeah, different, I think.
What do they do?
My grandparents era was in Korea, 60 years old birthday celebration is really, really big, because their expectation of living is nowadays people think we can live over 80s, over 90s. Some are we can live till 100 years old, but 20, 30 years ago, my grandparents' generation think, oh, if I live over 60 years old, that's nice. That's enough. So when they are in 60 years old, the birthday party is really big. But nowadays we don't celebrate that much big. Just dinner together with family. But 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they have big events like in
So
residential hall.
why has it changed, do you think?
Because medical skill is progressed, so we can, people can cure many diseases. So we can live, couple of or 10 or 20 years. We can live
longer,
live more. We can survive more than that.
Let's talk now about international events. Do you think international events help to increase cooperation and collaboration between different countries?
Yes.
How? Yeah.
We are living with internet system, so it's very easy to take many informations. So international relationship is way more than easier to take and keep their relationship. Yeah.
So what kind of international events help to create a collaboration and cooperation between different countries?
I work at a football stadium field, and I took some science skill of growing a lawn field with lighting. And in Korea has no that system. Netherlands, one company, SDL, they are selling the growing lights. So we contact with them and we try to import the system. I think that kind of.
Do you think international sports events, let's say, for example, like the Olympics or the Soccer World Cup, do you think that those kinds of things, are they more popular with old people or younger people?
It's the same, but young people love world sports events, but they are thinking, what if the big events held in this country, we need to much money, so they worried about it. And all guys love that, but they have no all guys just watch the sports, but they are not that interested about it, I think.
So what could be the benefits of having like World Cup or Olympics in a country? What's the benefit of hosting?
Maybe probably the country's name, the value, it will be growing up, and if they are success the event, they can get some. They earn some money, much money, and yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test. Okay, let's move on and have a look at some analysis of Jason's performance. First of all, I just want to say thanks a lot, Jason, for getting involved and being part of this video. Really appreciate it. So let's start with the fluency and coherence descriptor. I've given Jason a 6 for this. He may be a little disappointed with that score, but that's the score I've given. First of all, on the positive side, he's extremely willing, you can tell, to talk at length, and he does want to keep talking and tries to keep the conversation going. However, there are frequent hesitations, reformulations, and repetitions in his speech, and these mean that his coherence is occasionally lost, and it can become hard to sort of follow his point and what he's trying to get at. So that in itself probably limits him to a 6. He does get his ideas across pretty well, but he does overuse certain discourse markers, particularly which if you watches the video back, you'll see that he uses it quite frequently. I think he probably uses this just to buy himself more thinking time when he's speaking, to come up with ideas. So overall, he is clearly a competent English user, but he does have disfluency in some places, and this causes a lack of coherence, and I would say limits him to a 6 in fluency and coherence. Okay, let's take a look at lexical resource now. I've given Jason actually a 7 for this, so he got a good score on this one. It's probably his second best area. It's one of his areas of strength. He does make mistakes with some collocations, but he also uses less common and some idiomatic vocabulary, and this helps him to come across kind of more like a native English speaker in his style. So some good examples of, I would say, less common, slightly more idiomatic, slightly more native speaker type vocabulary. Things like, in my grandparents' era, I just want to make some money, he says towards the beginning when he talks about his job. I love to travel around the world. He talks about co-worker relationships. He says searching is the biggest part of my free time. So these kinds of chunks of language, these kinds of sentences or phrases that he's coming up with, they're well put together, they're well organized, they sound natural and native speaker-esque. So I would put him at a low 7 here for vocabulary and lexical resource for those reasons. Moving on to grammatical range and accuracy now, possibly Jason's weakest area. He does attempt to use a range of simple and complex structures, and he does often produce correct grammar. So, for example, I'm working at the park, I'm studying now. He's quite good with his present tenses, present simple, present continuous. However, mistakes are also frequent and noticeable, especially when longer sentences are attempted. Examples of the kinds of errors he makes are things like much money, much time, so confusing the quantifiers. It should be a lot of money, a lot of time. They are struggle with army when he talks about Myanmar. 20 years ago, my parents' generation think, so it should be thought, so incorrect use of past tenses. We don't celebrate that much big, so sentence structure and construction issues. So those sorts of issues probably limit him to a 6 in grammar. So last but not least is pronunciation, which I would say is definitely Jason's strongest area. And he uses a really wide range of features in his pronunciation. So, as he mentioned during his interview, he traveled a lot, or has traveled, I think, to 30 countries, and he's obviously used English a lot, and this shows in his pronunciation. He speaks very well. His accent is minimal. His intonation and stress are both excellent, and actually much, much better than the average Korean speaker of English, especially someone, a middle-aged speaker. His accent is very minimal, has almost zero effect on his intelligibility, and he's easy to understand, pretty much all the way through. There are occasional mispronunciations typical of a Korean English speaker, such as mispronunciation of the I sound, so deed instead of did. And these may lower his score in this area, but overall he's a strong 7 in pronunciation. Possibly even higher. Okay, thanks once more to Jason. Big round of applause. We really appreciate you getting involved. Thank you so much. You guys have been watching a speaking test from ISP IELTS. If you want your own IELTS speaking practice test, get in touch with me using the email address in the description below the video. We also do online Zoom classes, 5 p.m. Korea time, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, a different IELTS skill each day. Can you believe it, guys? Lessons are only $1. ISP IELTS lessons for everyone. I want everyone to be able to access high quality IELTS tuition. Don't forget our free Facebook Live lessons every Sunday, 5 p.m. Korea time. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers, bye.